Reba McEntire is the polished voice of country music. The composed smile, the red gown, the microphone held like it weighs nothing. But behind that image is a body built by labor, shaped by decades of rejection, loss, and constant recalibration. She was born in 1955 near Chalky, Oklahoma, into a rodeo family where injuries were routine and comfort was not the priority. Her father was a champion steer roper. Her mother trained the children to sing, but music was fitted between chores, not centered around it. Reba learned control early, not emotional control but control of pitch, of breath, of presence. Mistakes were corrected quickly. There was no room for self-pity. She studied education at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, treating music as a secondary track. Her breakthrough, singing the national anthem at a rodeo in 1974, did not produce instant success. What followed was years of grinding disappointment, albums that underperformed, a sound the industry didn't know how to categorize, contracts that limited creative control. She married Charlie Battles in 1976, a relationship that mirrored the structured, controlling environment she grew up in. By the early 1980s she pushed back, demanding a more traditional sound. The shift stabilized her career but not without cost. Her marriage ended in 1987. The late 1980s brought real momentum. Bigger tours, tighter schedules, less recovery time. In 1989 she remarried, this time to her manager, Narvel Blackstock, merging her personal and professional life into one continuous system. It created efficiency. It also concentrated pressure. Then came March 16, 1991. After a concert in San Diego, planes carrying her band and crew departed for Indiana. Reba stayed behind, sick and exhausted. One plane crashed. 8 people died. There were no survivors from that aircraft. The loss wasn't distant. These were people she worked with daily, people who filled specific roles in her life that suddenly had no one left to fill them. She has spoken about the guilt of not being on that flight, about the randomness of who lives and who doesn't. The industry didn't pause. Within months she returned to work, not because the grief had lessened, but because the structure of her life demanded movement. Her album that year, built directly from that loss, sold millions of copies. Grief and commercial success existed side by side. Decades of high output followed, albums, tours, television, functioning less as ambition and more as containment. Staying in motion left less room for reflection. Then in 2015 her marriage to Blackstock ended after 26 years, dismantling not just a relationship, but an entire operational system built over decades. Now in her 70s the demands haven't disappeared, they've just changed shape. Touring requires more recovery. Her voice needs deliberate maintenance. Her body absorbs strain differently than it once did. She found a quieter, steadier relationship with Linn, less about building something new, more about maintaining balance. The tragedy of Reba McEntire's life was never a single moment. It's the accumulation. A childhood built on discipline, a career built on rejection, a devastating loss that never fully resolved, and decades of pressure that never really let up. What audiences see is the composed figure under the lights. What they don't see is everything required to keep her standing there.